they can actually see.
I have something to ask.
I'm rather enjoying the white. Maybe you should give it a try.
There's some rather lovely vintages out today. I'd get in quick if I were you.
I'm afraid I can't talk. I need to focus on this wine. It's rather complex.
It's good to relax.
These refugees are killers, apparently. And they're everywhere.
The only killer around here is going to be your hangover tomorrow, Dame.
You know, festivals like this give me a bit of hope. Everyone's so happy.
Have you heard what those refugees have been up to? Murder. And worse.
You know, they're just giving out free wine here, calling it a sample. Very cosmopolitan.
Have you seen him? Have you seen my dad? His name is Yatsik. He's a super brave knight. We came here together, but he had to leave. He said that Cora would look after me. She's really nice, but I miss Dad.
There's a sadness in her voice that betrays a wisdom beyond her years. She knows her father's not coming back.
Has it happened to you too? I'm sorry. It's the worst. Perhaps Cora can look after you too. She looks after all the kids who've got nowhere to go. She's helping me write down all of my dad's stories so everyone will know how brave he is.
Remarkably light. I don't feel a thing.
Are you an orphan too?
Oh, lucky you. I miss my parents, especially Mum. She made the best apple pie. I've got Molly and Cora. She makes a really good pot roast. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I actually think it might be better than Mum's.
If you've not tried Master Metzli's wines yet, I hear they're lovely.
A fine festival indeed, wouldn't you say?
Some of these wines. Excuse me. Your unwashed stink is putting me off my wine.
Why, hello there. We were just about to try some of Master Metzli's delightful wines. Would you care to join us?
Oh, they do look ever so tasty.
Ah, Mrs. Highbury, I prefer to conduct tastings individually, so I may assess your palate.
Call me Cora, Master Metzli. And I'm afraid I must insist on their joining us. Wine's no good without company, after all.
No. I must say, if this is a practical joke, it's not very amusing.
Why, a serial killer? Oh, that's terrible. Master Metzli, are you quite all right?
It was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You have sullied it with knowledge, made it an unclean sacrifice. I will remember your face, and I will peel it from your skull should you interfere again.
got away. Now it's only a matter of time before another body turns up.
I still can't believe... Why would anyone want to kill me? Thank you for saving us.
Better than ever. With all the articles about coats and war.
Karlak, you're looking well.
Would be a lot better if you'd find a way to fix this engine, Damon.
I haven't stopped trying, but all roads lead to a dead end. Sorry, I didn't mean...
Never mind. Glad you're all right in any case. Nice forge you've got here.
Best I've had in years. Mistress of the house lets me operate from here for a fair price. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy.
Good. Someone should be.
Certainly. Shout if you need anything else.
All right. Don't see the point.
Nothing wrong with looking, is there? A man can dream.
Fudge off! You're blocking my view!
I'm telling you, that flaming fist was winking at me.
Well, she nodded at me. Very suggestively, I might add.
Oh, yeah? Remember?
It speaks a feline dialect called Mriar. It wants to know if you're its mother.
She's really going for them, isn't she? Quite impressive, really.
Do you mind? I'm in the middle of an interrogation. Those agents of the Absolute aren't gonna act themselves. Now leave me to do my job, eh?
Armies marching on the city. What else is there?
I made it back. I'm here. Thank the gods. Thank the gods.
Perhaps you should start your own opinion column.
I could do that. I have loads of opinions.
I was joking. You really are that interesting.
My poor sweet vegetables. They deserved better.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
But please, don't look at me.
Fate spins along, as it should. Have you need of my services? The girl has left to hew her own path. She left behind a letter, as thou doth know. Hast thou other business?
The bustle here takes some getting used to. Crackling fire and a tresson for company is usually more my speed. Still, we must flow with the current we find ourselves in, however tumultuous it may be. If you've need of me, I'm glad to help.
Gods, this is the first time in 200 years I've seen these streets in the sunlight. You can forget just how much color there is in the world. Of course. Obviously. Sorry, did you want something? Can we? I suppose we can. I don't know. But isn't it nice not to know? You're not a victim. Not a target. Not just one night it's better to forget. But then, whatever in the world could you be?
Ah, I've had a lifetime's fill of watching little men puff themselves up with grand titles. I look forward to the day we show the Archduke that his tongue is not half so silvered as he thinks. He's protected by his steel watch for now. And Orin will have her own defenses, should we choose to play the part of Gortash's bloodhounds. We cannot expect either of the Chosen to fall easily. But fall they must, if we're to have all three stones to command the brain. Still, if you see sense in making an alliance, I won't question it. I'll just look forward to the inevitable breaking Gortash spoke of. It would be irritatingly true to form, would it not? A Harper learns to doubt, to peer through every smile, question every look. Eventually, you find what it is you fear, whether it is there or not. When we cannot know, we can only trust. But then, that is exactly what a traitor in our midst would say. Isn't it? I have. And while I do not love my conclusion, that does nothing to change it. The Harpers are the city's best information network. With them out of action, we shall have to fall back on second best. 9 fingers keen. Oh, to be so innocent. 9 fingers keen controls the guild, which in turn controls every criminal racket from Heapside to the High Hall. Nothing happens in this city that she doesn't hear of, sooner or later. How hospitable she will be to a Harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking.
Keeping very well, I hope?
This is the city proper, is it? I didn't expect it to be so outrageously ordinary.
I received a dispatch from the Grove. Life carries on there in our absence, just as nature intended. My chosen successor, Francesca, has proven to be a wise choice. Perhaps the wisest I ever made as Archdruid. One grand victory may not be enough to absolve a host of small failures. That is where true leadership lies. Not in winning a single vast battle, but in fighting 1,000 smaller ones. Making 10,000 difficult decisions. Finding balance where none seems possible. Day after day. I was all too eager to surrender my responsibilities towards the Grove. Perhaps I was never meant to be Archdruid. To be a leader. Still, though, I cannot help but wonder if there was more I could have done. Perhaps, Oakfather willing, I may yet have the chance someday. Forgive me.
The Shadow Curse occupied me so entirely and for so long, I almost missed the purpose it gave me. Now I must find a new one. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seems my faith was more than well-founded.
Welcome to the Lower City, where Baldur's Gate truly comes alive.
Baldur's Gate. You know, I never quite believed I'd actually make it back. Wasn't until we got within reach of Worm's Crossing that it felt real. It's so strange. I don't remember much of it, yet I can't help feel like I know it. It feels like home. I suppose it is. Though the chance to savor the moment might be brief, given all that still lies ahead of us. I may have to rely on your local knowledge to plug the gaps in my own mind. Hopefully, I'll remember more than I expect to.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice, adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
Fina, Cirrus, arbiters for the hells, exemplars of justice.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable. A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose. Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Will sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the pact is worth it to him.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mazora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I didn't. I don't. My sacrifice kept Baldur's Gate safe from Tiamat's rage. But that doesn't mean that the leash never chafed. That I was content to lap up whatever nonsense Mizora fed me. The leash has been broken and my father left for dead. Tomorrow I celebrate my gain. But today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 Netherstones and take back our minds. And the city from the brain.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into. Impossible. My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes? Oh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead 3 in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious. The 9 hells of Beator. each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first hell my home, Avernus, my mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy. The absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise, and you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched. Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead after all.
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
The devil Mizora has made herself quite at home, hasn't she? Do make her feel as unwelcome as you can. What about him? Orpheus's honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well. But I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake. I am sure Will knows that. But we would do well to remind him, when his days grow dark. No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pack, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.